on March 25, 2015, the world of millions of fans collapsed overnight. Zayn left One Direction. By December 31st, 2015, the band announced a break that would soon feel permanent. For most people, that was the end of an era. But for Harry Styles, it was the spark that lit a fire. What followed was not just reinvention, it was risk, scandal, triumph, and a life lived under a microscope. Harry was no longer the charming boy with dimples and a microphone. He was stepping into a world where every choice, every song, every outfit, every silence would be dissected. And while headlines painted him as fearless, the truth is far more complicated. What really happened after One Direction? And how did Harry Styles go from boy band heartthrob to one of the most unpredictable icons of his generation? Tonight, we uncover the truth. After the curtain closed on One Direction in early 2016, Harry Styles disappeared from the spotlight, but not into silence. Behind the scenes, he was working with a ruthless focus. While tabloids speculated about romance and gossip, Harry was quietly building a plan that could either cement his future or destroy it. He signed a solo deal with Columbia Records in June 2016, but unlike his bandmates, he refused to rush. No quick pop single, no desperate attempt to stay relevant. For almost a year, he stayed off the radar, letting anticipation grow until the tension was unbearable. Then, on April 7, 2017, he dropped Sign of the Times, nearly 6 minutes long, slow, cinematic, and haunting. It was the opposite of what anyone expected from a boy band graduate. Critics compared it to Bowie and Queen. Fans were shocked. Radio couldn't ignore it. 1 month later, on May 12, 2017, his debut album arrived, filled with guitars, echoes of the 70s, and a defiance that said, Harry Styles was not here to play safe. Your support means everything. Hit subscribe and discover more untold stories with us. And just as the world was processing that, another twist landed on July 21, 2017. He appeared in Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. No pop gloss, no fan service cameo, just a serious role in a World War II epic. In less than 4 months, Harry flipped the narrative. Not an ex-boy bander chasing fame, but an artist taking control. The message was unmistakable. He wasn't asking for permission. He was demanding attention. By 2018, Harry Styles wasn't just releasing music. He was rewriting the rules of fame. The fashion world opened its doors, and he walked straight into controversy. Suits with pearls, blouses with lace, and a confidence that blurred the line between masculine and feminine. Some fans praised him as fearless. Others accused him of turning identity into performance. The debate exploded on May 6, 2019, when he co-chaired the Met Gala, Camp Notes on Fashion. His look playful, gender-bending, impossible to ignore made headlines worldwide. But the real shock came on December 13, 2019, when Fine Line dropped. Songs about heartbreak, lust, and desire painted a picture more raw than anything One Direction ever dared. Critics loved it. Fans screamed for it. And then came the scandal that split the internet. In December 2020, Vogue put Harry on the cover in a dress. Supporters saw it as liberation, a new masculinity. Detractors called it a publicity stunt, some even branding it the end of men. While the world argued, Harry stayed silent, letting the noise fuel the narrative. On March 14, 2021, Watermelon Sugar won a Grammy. By then, it was clear Harry Styles was no longer just a singer. He was a cultural lightning rod, every step adored by millions, every risk dissected by critics, every silence turned into scandal. By the time Harry dropped Harry's House in 2022, his status had shifted. He wasn't just an artist anymore, he was a global brand. The album was colorful, polished, and packed with hooks. As it was, dominated charts everywhere. But the spotlight that once seemed effortless now came with cracks. Coachella proved it. His headlining set drew screaming crowds and glowing reviews. Yet backstage whispers told a different story: tension between his team, pressure to keep the image spotless, and constant speculation about his love life. Then came Hollywood. In the same year, Harry appeared in 2 films, Don't Worry Darling and My Policeman. Instead of elevating him, the projects ignited chaos. Rumors of on-set feuds, awkward red carpet moments, endless gossip about his relationship with Olivia Wilde. The narrative slipped out of his control. For the first time since One Direction, Harry wasn't untouchable. The press had found a weakness. His music was soaring, but behind the glossy headlines, the question was louder than ever. Was Harry Styles still leading the story, or was the story beginning to lead him? After leaving One Direction, Harry Styles stepped into a spotlight where his music wasn't the only story. His personal life, especially his relationships, became fuel for endless speculation. In the early years, he was linked to Kendall Jenner, a pairing that sent social media into meltdown every time they were photographed together. Was it romance? Was it friendship? Or was it something carefully staged? No one could ever say for sure, but the images dominated headlines. Later came his connection with Camille Rowe, the French model whose presence was felt even in Harry's music. Fans dissected lyrics from Fine Line and swore they saw pieces of that relationship hidden between the lines. But the most explosive chapter unfolded when he began dating Olivia Wilde, the director of Don't Worry Darling. Suddenly, promotion for the film turned into a battlefield of rumors. Stories of tension on set, whispers of jealousy, and viral clips from awkward premieres blurred the line between personal and professional. Some fans celebrated the pairing, others rejected it fiercely, creating rifts inside his own community. Through it all, Harry spoke little, letting the media spin narratives while he kept moving forward. Each relationship, real or rumored, didn't just define Harry's love life. It shaped his image, creating a mystery the public still debates today. When the news broke that Harry Styles was dating Olivia Wilde, the reaction was immediate and explosive. This wasn't just a new couple in Hollywood, it was a story that hijacked the spotlight from his music. Paparazzi caught them holding hands at a wedding in California, and suddenly every tabloid in America ran the photos. The age difference became a talking point. Olivia's recent breakup with Jason Sudeikis turned into another headline, and Harry found himself dragged into a drama that wasn't even his own. For fans, it felt like a turning point. Concert footage showed crowds cheering his every move, but booing at the mention of Olivia's name. Online, fandom wars broke out. Hashtags trended for days, some calling their relationship romantic, others branding it a betrayal. TikTok users dissected every glance between them. YouTube channels turned their romance into theories and timelines. And gossip outlets painted Olivia as a manipulator while framing Harry as either naive or complicit. Things escalated during the promotion of Don't Worry Darling, the film Olivia directed and Harry starred in. Rumors of feuds with Florence Pugh went viral, and every red carpet appearance was analyzed frame by frame. The infamous Venice Film Festival premiere, with awkward seating charts, tense body language, and the so-called Spitgate moment with Chris Pine, became a circus of memes and headlines. Instead of promoting a movie, Harry's team was putting out fires. What should have been his big Hollywood breakthrough turned into a spectacle of gossip and backlash. Through all of this, Harry said almost nothing. He neither defended nor denied, leaving a vacuum that the media was eager to fill. The silence kept the intrigue alive, but it also cost him. For the first time, his fan base fractured in plain sight, and his carefully crafted image as untouchable began to show cracks. After the chaos of Hollywood gossip, Harry Styles shifted the spotlight back to where he always had the most power on stage. His Love On tour became more than concerts. It was a carefully orchestrated campaign to remind the world what he really offered: music, performance, and charisma that no rumor could erase. Stadiums filled with fans in sequins and feather boas turned into safe havens where the noise of tabloids disappeared the moment he stepped onto the stage. Each show felt like a counterpunch to the headlines, a declaration that Harry Styles belonged to the audience, not to gossip columns. He also leaned deeper into the mystery. Rare interviews, guarded answers, and a refusal to define himself kept journalists guessing. Was it strategy or instinct? No one knew. But by withholding just enough, Harry transformed speculation into anticipation. His fans didn't just listen to his songs, they searched for hidden meanings, convinced every lyric carried a clue to the real man behind the star. And that's where Harry found his advantage. The media wanted a scandal. He gave them silence. The fans wanted answers. He gave them art. By 2023, his tours had grossed hundreds of millions. His music topped charts across continents, and the narrative had shifted again. Harry Styles was no longer the man caught in a storm, he was the one steering it. No matter how far Harry Styles moved into superstardom, the shadow of One Direction never left him. Interviews that were supposed to focus on his solo albums often circled back to the same questions. Do you still talk to the boys? Would you ever reunite? What really happened behind the scenes? For Harry, it became a constant balancing act. Say too much, and headlines would twist it into drama. Say too little, and the silence was painted as bitterness. On late-night shows, hosts teased him with throwback clips. Radio DJs asked if certain songs were secretly about his former bandmates. Even fans shouted questions during concerts, desperate for a hint of reunion. The pressure wasn't just nostalgic, it was invasive. At times, Harry played along with humor, smiling at the memories. Other times, his face tightened, his answers clipped, as though he was carrying a weight he didn't want to share. Rumors spread online that he had distanced himself from the group on purpose, while others insisted he stayed close privately. The truth? Nobody knew, and Harry wasn't about to give it away. By keeping his past just out of reach, he fed both the curiosity and the controversy. The story of One Direction remained unfinished, and as long as it did, Harry Styles would never truly escape the questions. While Harry worked to define himself as a solo artist, his former bandmates never truly let the story of One Direction die. Interviews years after the split often circled back to the same theme, and sometimes their words added fuel to the fire. Louis Tomlinson spoke openly about how difficult the breakup was for him, admitting the band ended before he was ready. Niall Horan, always the diplomat, hinted that the door to a reunion was never fully closed. Even Liam Payne, in moments that went viral, made blunt comments about the group's dynamic, sometimes painting Harry as distant or detached. Each soundbite became a headline. Each headline reignited speculation. Fans dissected every remark, looking for hidden tensions or coded messages. Was there resentment? Was there rivalry? Or was it just nostalgia twisted by the media? Whatever the truth, these scattered interviews kept One Direction alive in the public imagination and kept Harry tied to a past he rarely discussed. For every new song he released, there was always a journalist ready to ask, but what about the boys? The irony was clear. Harry had built an empire on his own, yet the ghosts of One Direction followed him into every room. In the summer of 2025, Harry Styles once again proved that his personal life could dominate headlines as much as his music. At Glastonbury, one of the world's biggest festivals, a grainy phone video surfaced online. Harry, in the VIP section, sharing a passionate kiss with a mystery woman. Within hours, the clip went viral, sparking a frenzy across social media. Who was she? Was this the start of a new relationship, or just a fleeting moment caught on camera? Fans dissected every detail, from her outfit to her posture, until her identity was revealed. Ella Kenny, a producer with no public history in the tabloids. The discovery only fueled speculation. Why her? Why now? Some fans celebrated, happy to see Harry looking free and unguarded. Others were skeptical, questioning the timing and spinning theories about distraction, image control, even publicity stunts. The truth may have been simple, but the reactions proved something larger. After a decade in the spotlight, Harry Styles' private moments still carried the power to shake the internet. A single kiss at Glastonbury reminded the world that no matter how carefully he guards his image, Harry's life will always be a stage. No story about Harry Styles would be complete without addressing the phenomenon that has followed him for more than a decade. Larry Stylinson. For years, fans have insisted that Harry and Louis Tomlinson shared a secret romance during their time in One Direction. Entire communities were built around decoding interviews, analyzing glances on stage, and dissecting lyrics for hidden messages. On Tumblr and later TikTok, Larry-proof videos racked up millions of views. For some, it was playful fantasy. For others, it became a mission exposing what they believed was a cover-up orchestrated by management. Harry and Louis both denied the rumors, with Louis calling them harmful and disrespectful, while Harry consistently avoided feeding the fire. But the speculation never died. Even in recent years, fans still create theories, arguing that certain songs or tattoos are evidence. The theory has sparked heated debates inside the fandom. One side convinced Larry is real, the other calling it pure delusion. What makes it so powerful isn't the truth or the denial, it's the obsession. Larry Stylinson turned Harry Styles' private life into a puzzle people are still trying to solve. And in that endless guessing game, Harry became more than a pop star. He became a mystery that no answer could ever fully resolve. In recent years, one detail has become impossible to ignore. Harry Styles, once a fixture on the most glamorous red carpets, has started to disappear from them. He skipped the Met Gala, avoided major award shows, and chose private moments over public appearances. For someone who built part of his legacy on turning fashion into spectacle, the absence was louder than any outfit he could have worn. Fans speculated endlessly. Was he protecting his privacy, tired of being consumed as an image, or simply redefining what it means to be a superstar? Whatever the reason, the effect was powerful. Each no-show turned into a headline. Each quiet absence fueled curiosity. Harry had found a new way to control the story, not by speaking, not by dressing, but by withdrawing. And that might be the ultimate twist in his career. After years of scandals, rumors, and theories, Harry Styles proved that sometimes the greatest statement is silence. He remains an icon, but one defined on his own terms, present when he chooses, absent when he wants, always leaving the world guessing. The boy from One Direction became a man who rewrote the rules of fame. And in the end, that mystery may be his most lasting legacy. Looking at Harry Styles today, one thing is clear. He has built a career no one could have predicted when One Direction first stepped on stage all those years ago. Music, fashion, film, each chapter more unpredictable than the last. But for all the headlines and speculation, the truth about Harry remains out of reach. Is he the fearless icon who rewrote the rules, or a man still wrestling with the weight of fame? Maybe both. What we know for certain is that Harry Styles thrives on mystery, and the world cannot look away. His story isn't finished, and maybe it never will be. And perhaps that's the point. One Direction wasn't just a launchpad for Harry Styles, it was his pressure cooker. In that band, he learned velocity, daily interviews, instant choruses, stadium stamina, and the choreography of fame. It gave him a furnace-hot fan base and a ruthless work ethic. But it also taught him boundaries, what he would never be again. Uniform, interchangeable, managed to the comma. You can still hear 1D in his solo work. The communal hooks, the fan-first instinct, the instinct to turn a room into a chorus. The difference is the risk. Slower ballads, stranger textures, fashion as language. Harry didn't escape One Direction. He graduated from it, keeping the joy, dropping the symmetry, and turning a boy band education into an artist's signature. Thanks for watching. Your like or comment would really help me out. It's super important to me.